Email is one of early network applications that is still heavily used. It is similar to postal mail service, although cheaper and non-physical. In this section, we are going to learn the basics of the protocols that enable email service over the internet. The major components of the electronic mail system are user agents, mail servers, and the protocol that enables the email delivery, which is SMTP. User agent allows the user to send, receive, read, compose, reply, forward, and save messages. Outlook on your computer or web-based Gmail on any browser you access, or mail apps you use on your phone are examples of user agents. Mail servers contain the messages in the mailbox of the user. Users log in to their mailbox to see received emails or sent emails they have authored in their agent. SMTP, the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is the base email enabler protocol. It uses TCP since it needs reliable transport and has client and server sides. Both of the client and server sides of the SMTP protocol have to run on all mail servers, SMTP client to send and SMTP server to receive emails. Reliability of transmission is important for the electronic mail application. You do not want to receive an email with missing parts. Therefore, SMTP uses TCP for its transport layer protocol. Port 25 is typically used for SMTP. SMTP uses direct transfer, meaning that SMTP communication happens between the sending and receiving servers directly without any intermediate mail servers involved in the middle. The transfer happens in 3 phases: handshaking between the servers, transfer of the message, and closure. These phases happen through command and response interactive process. A restriction in SMTP is that messages must be in 7-bit ASCII. This imposes a challenge of encoding and decoding binary media included. Let's take a look at SMTP email transfer process through an example. In this example, a user called Alice is sending an email to a user called Bob. Alice uses user agent to compose a message that is intended for bob@someschool.edu. Alice's user agent sends the composed message to Alice's mail server. The message is placed in message queue in the server. Alice's mail server, which is now the client side of SMTP, opens TCP connection with Bob's mail server. Alice's mail server, still SMTP client, sends Alice's message over the TCP connection to Bob's mail server, which is SMTP server. Bob's mail server receives the message and places it in Bob's mailbox. And finally, Bob invokes his user agent to read the message. As I mentioned, SMTP works with command and response interactions. An example is shown here, beginning right after the TCP connection establishment between the SMTP client and server. S indicates server and C indicates the client. Each message is finished by carriage return and line feed. Client, in this example, has issued 5 commands: hello, mail from, receipt to, data, and quit. Can you recognize the responses? Try these commands with your SMTP server of your choice and report your observations and what happened in the interactions. Did you get the same interaction as a result? Why? SMTP uses persistent connections. It requires header and body of the messages to be in 7-bit ASCII and uses carrier to return and line feeds to determine the end of message. In comparison with HTTP, it is worth to know that SMTP uses push mechanism. Means that the client is the sender of the message and connects to the receiving server when it wants to send to something. That is, as opposed to HTTP, where clients are requesting to receive an object. In SMTP, multiple objects could be sent in a multi-part message. However, as you remember, each object was within its own response message in HTTP. Both of these protocols